Hi, this is Angela McFarlane and you're stamping with AMAC. This is our last project in this series and it is a pop-out panel card. So this is the front of the card, and when we open it we have these pop-out panels. So you can see it's a little bit of a card with a difference, and I will take you through the steps of making this card. I have pre-cut all my pieces as per instructions provided. So this is my base, which I have folded in half, and then I will proceed to attach my 4 pieces to the front, inside and back. And you can use your liquid glue or glue of preference to attach these, and I will just speed up the process for sticking all of these on. And here we have all of our base layers stuck onto the card. Then I will attach the designer series paper. I've cut 3 of the same piece, and on the other side I have this pattern. I will use my floral pattern on the front of the card, and these other 2 patterns I will stick inside the card. So once again, you can use the glue of your choice. I'll just use the snail in this case. And be mindful, if your paper is directional, then make sure it is facing the right way before you stick it on. So with these 2, I want my petals facing upwards rather than downwards. I will keep that in mind as I attach it. This card has many layers, which adds to the character of it, and it makes it a really nice sturdy card as well. Then we have a piece that I will attach to the back, because with all these decorations inside the card, there's nowhere really to write on it, so I thought a blank back panel would be useful to write on. So I've just cut a smaller piece, and that is framed by the Knight of Navy as well. I'll just attach that to the back. So now we have the base of our card ready to go. With your strip, I've actually trimmed it down to 28 centimeters and then scored it at 7, 14 and 21 centimeters. And then the first way to fold it, I fold it away from myself, and then I fold these 2 pieces towards myself, and that creates an M shape, which is this central part of the card. Then when we go to attach this, we will line it up in the center of the card, and we want this center fold or center score line lined up with the center fold of your actual card. So that's something that we want to be mindful of. And when we're gluing this down, we only want to put our glue on these 2 parts. We don't want any on this central part. So once again, you can either use snail or double-sided tape or liquid glue. I will keep away from my edges. And you want this lined up in the center of your card. So then I'll make sure that my score line is centered, and that'll just go to the edge of my card. I'll hold up the other area until I'm happy with where that is, and that's pretty much centered in the middle of my card. So now when we close that, the card will close and it will sit flat. So then for the decorating of our card, we have our 4 small squares of Very Vanilla, and they will all get centered onto this strip. And these 2 pieces can get glued right down, but once again be mindful with these central pieces that we only have the glue in the center, so they're not stuck right down. It might actually be easier to assemble all of these with our various layers, so we're not having to glue everything and attach everything while it's in the card. So I will just assemble these little squares separately first. And once again, I've just used lots of layers on here and just reduced the size of them, so they're all in proportion. And I'm using Designer Series paper, which is matching the front of my card on the inside, to create a little bit of contrast with my image. I'll just see which way I want that to go. So this card's actually a lot easier than it looks. The assembly doesn't take that long at all. It's cutting all of your pieces to size, which takes the time. And you'll find all of the dimensions for all of your pieces in your instruction sheet, which I have provided for you. So that's the 2 end panels done. And then the central ones. Once again, I used the Boho Indigo Designer Series paper for these cards, but I've also used the Boho Indigo dies for the little vases. I've just run out of my snail. That's okay, I can improvise. But you can use whatever Designer Series paper you have. That's the start of my 2 squares for the center, and then I'll add another layer of Very Vanilla, and this is smaller once again, to create a little bit of a feature border all the way around. The advantage of using the liquid glue is that you have a little bit of wiggle room, because it just takes a little bit longer to set as well. You don't have that advantage with a tape. Okay, and then for my little vases that I want to attach, I've pre-cut all these little bits and pieces using the Boho Indigo dies. I'll attach a little bit of glue on the back of there. I'll probably snip these a little bit, and I will just position that so it looks like it's coming out of the top of the vase. And that will will sit on there like so. Might actually be best to use some double-sided tape when you attach that. I'll just pop a little bit of extra glue on here. I will pop a tiny bit on my die cuts as well, but I'm not going too high up because I don't want the bits that are poking out above my squares to actually have any glue on them. I'll just attach that. To attach the other vase, I'll add a little bit of tape just to the back of this, and then I can also position my dies where I would like them coming out of the vase. Okay, then we can come and attach all these bits and pieces onto the card. So for the end bits, I will go right over the whole piece with my liquid glue, and I will center these in the middle between my fold and the end of the panel there. Attach that to the card. The same with this piece. Turn that one that way and just center that. Hopefully I've got it on straight. And then for these pieces here, I will just put glue on this part of my strip. I won't go close to the edges because I don't want the glue oozing out, but that should be enough to hold it in position. And then I can attach this and line it up with my top and bottom of the card, of the little panel next to it, and I'll do the same with this one. Okay, then when we've got that attached, we can add our little gems. I'll just pop one of these on, except this is sliding around a little bit, so maybe I should let it set first. Pop that on there. The liquid glue always does take a little bit longer to set. And then our cute little flowers from the Boho Indigo, I'll pop a glue dot on the back of that and attach that to that vase. So there we have the inside of our card finished. And then to decorate the front of our card, I've pre-cut some labels using the Tasteful Labels dies, and this will get popped up on dimensionals, and I will also add some little flowers to our greeting as well, because they just add a little bit of extra texture and a little bit of extra decoration to our card. So once again, to take away from the starkness of the little flowers, I'll just get my sponge and my ink, and I will just ink these up a little bit. Do give them a little bit of time to dry, so I'll do them at the start, so then I can stamp my greetings and stuff, and that'll give them a chance to dry. It just takes away a little bit of that white out of them, so they'll blend in better with the Very Vanilla. Okay, I don't need to put my ink away because I need to stamp my greeting, and then you can choose a greeting that you would like. I'm using the one out of our Peony stamp set. It's love and thanks to a dear friend. So then I will attach my label to the second layer of the label. These are such beautiful dies, they really layer beautifully. They're such lovely shapes as well, really enjoying using them. And then I'd pop a few dimensionals on the back of this before we'll do the trick well and truly. And then just stick that onto the front, onto the center of my card. And then I will just use glue dots to attach my little flowers. I find the easiest way to use glue dots is to actually stick my object or embellishment onto the glue dot and then peel it up off the roll, and then simply stick it down. That way I'm not having to peel off the glue dot and having it stick to my fingers as well. Just overlap my flowers a little bit. And we'll pop the last one on. And there we have our finished card. And then, as always, we'll just dress our envelope up a little bit with some matching Designer Series paper. And I'll just pop a little bit of glue on the strip. I'll just go a little bit away from the edge and stick that on, flip that over and trim off the excess. And there we have our pop-out panel card with the matching envelope. I hope you've enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.